The final amazing lesson that I learned from watching Joe Flacco this past year is the importance of your surroundings and your environment. How did Joe Flacco go from 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in Cleveland to 12 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions over his next few games in Cincinnati? Well, of course, a big part of this was his environment. Sometimes the issue is you, but other times it is your surroundings. Now, as I spoke about during one of my recent videos, environment and surroundings don't have to mean your physical location. A lot of people think oh, you just move and suddenly everything is fixed, and then move again and again, not realizing their habits haven't changed, and their types of friends and relationships they're attracting are still the same. So you can't expect oh, this place is gonna have it all, almost like the whole Wizard of Oz story. As soon as I get there, then everything's just magically gonna change. However, there are times where you're doing everything right, being consistent with your work ethic, and keeping an awesome overall attitude, as I believe Joe Flacco was in Cleveland, and yet sometimes you just need a change of scenery, and that can make a huge difference. In his case, so in one place, no matter what he did, he was going to be rooted against. He was essentially, as I look at it, put in a situation to fail. He could have a great game, and yet all the fans were going to be calling for Shedeur Sanders to play. And so every mistake he made was going to be magnified 10 times. On top of that, you had fans booing him and calling him washed. And getting into the specifics once again, his receivers had the most drop passes in the NFL, and the O-line wasn't right for him as basically an all-pocket passer, who still actually had one of the strongest arms in the NFL and still does. So he basically goes from feeling unwanted to suddenly a team in need of him, and where he's being celebrated as such. With his new team, the Bengals, of course he had much better receivers in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but you could also feel the momentum build with every throw he made, and suddenly he became a fan favorite. It's a more personal example for me is when I was in high school on certain basketball teams I was on, whether it was the school team or AAU teams, or any of the million different teams I played for. On some teams I was on, I was scoring 2 points a game, while others I was scoring 20. Now, what changed? Did my skill set suddenly get better or worse? Or could it be when you have a coach who believes in you, and who feeds you confidence with every shot you take, versus the one who screams at you and takes you out for every mistake? Or when I had teammates who blamed me for everything, versus those who told me to keep my head up every time I missed a shot? That's sometimes the whole difference between unlocking the best version of you versus being thought of as a failure.